Today's episode of the Meet and Greet Barbecue podcast is brought to you by AOS Outdoor Kitchens. They are the South's leading outdoor kitchen design and installation specialists.
Welcome to another episode of the Meet and Greet Barbecue podcast. Today, we are talking to Ian, the Barbecue King. And for our long-time listeners, you probably would have remembered Ian from way back in 2021 when he was our fourth or fifth guest on season one. We're doing a bit of a catch-up episode, see what's happened. 4 years is a long time. So without further ado, here's Ian. So Ian, back for a second time. It's been, 4 years since we last...
Next 4.5 years.
Yeah, so welcome back to the podcast. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm not so bad, thanks. Not bad at all. Quite a lot of water under the bridge. I've retired since then, although I do have a little part-time job just to keep me ticking over.
Nice.
Yeah, grandfather now, which I wouldn't have expected 4 years ago. So yeah, life's good.
Perfect.
Still loving the barbecue, I see.
Very much so. It's a hobby that has just got hilariously out of control. But probably I'll tell you about later.
You've got the dream scenario for me in the fact that you're retired, so you have all the time in the world to be able to plow into barbecuing. Although my father-in-law insists that for some reason, when you become retired, you have less time than you did while you were working. But as a reminder, before we go into that, because I want to know more about kind of retirement and what that means to you for barbecue, just remind everyone where they can see you on Instagram and things. If they want to have a quick nose before we get too in depth.
So, on Instagram, I'm Ian the BBQ King. I've got about 5,600 followers now. Mm-hmm. Most of which are related to barbecuing. Although I do go off piste every now and again. I've got an old Ford, hopefully future classic, with its BBQ number plate, which people see they around every now and again. My wife has to wear a mask when she goes out, and it's because she was gutted when I bought it. But yeah, it's been quite a journey. There's no doubt about it.
So picking up then, I suppose a lot can happen in 4 years, as you've already said. But I suppose give us the potted history catch up. What's been happening since we last spoke?
Happening with me and the barbecuing? So I retired 3 years ago. Lasted about a month and got a part-time job, just really to keep me out of mischief. My wife, she still works full-time. Andrew still works full-time. And at some point, we'll both sail off into the sunset. So that's for the future. Andrea's actually got her retirement date sorted, and she's got lots of plans for next year, which includes some holidays. And we always make sure that everywhere we go away, there's some barbecuing to be done. Which she does get a bit sick of me email saying, "Do you have a Weber?" Yes, we do. Is it charcoal? Is it gas? Well, if it's gas, then I'll bring my Weber go anywhere. So that certainly, it's a prerequisite when we go on holiday in the UK. But yeah, things have, from initial barbecuing, when I had my Weber Performer, and we've still got it. It lives in the garden. I've had it probably 6 years. It's still the best Christmas present that I've ever had. But from having my Weber Performer, I had a count up, just made some notes before we did this tonight, and I've now got 7 barbecues, which is absolutely crackers because we haven't really got a big garden. And we've got a pizza oven as well. We're on our second pizza oven. We won't first one out. So it's just crackers. It has got hilariously out of control, but we love it. And whilst we probably cook outside now 5 nights out of 7. We actually cooked inside tonight. Andrea cooked inside tonight. That's the first time for a while. But it's just it's a fantastic hobby. It's a brilliant community as well. You guys, we've got plenty of other people, and it's just fabulous. It is good for your mental health. It's terrible thing to say. That was not a terrible thing to say, but it is good for your mental health. I thoroughly enjoy doing it. It gets me out the house, in the garden, do new things, and hopefully I'll become a better cook as well. But time will tell on that. Barbecue fails, but yeah.
So what does the collection look like now then? So
what have I got?
Pizza oven and the Performer.
I've got a pizza oven, a wood-fired pizza oven. I've got my Weber Performer still. Still got a Weber 47 centimetre, which comes out with us on occasions. Got a Weber Go Anywhere. And I've got 2 Kamados. We went to the BBC Good Food Show after our first podcast, and I always fancied the Kamado, but I was a bit frightened of them. And we met the guys at Barbecue Bits. I don't know whether you've ever come across them before. They're a company, I think they're in the south of England, just a relatively small company. But I bought my first Kamado there, and yet another great Christmas present. And I didn't open it till it got delivered. I didn't open it at Christmas. But it was small. It was just probably a 14-inch, or maybe 16 inches. And it more or less gave up the ghost about a month ago. The firebox had a lifetime guarantee, but I reckon I'd used it about 750 times. So I spoke to the guys at Barbecue Bits, and they did say, "You're right, yeah, it does have a lifetime guarantee, but they just couldn't get the firebox, so it gave me an opportunity to buy another one." So I've got a bigger 21-inch Kamado now. So I've got those, and I've also got 2 Conros as well. So I've got. I'm trying to look like James Martin, but it's not really working out that way. My wife was looking at me, she's seen James Martin with his Conroe grills, and I've got a small one. And then last year, I think, we bought a bigger one. And it's a brilliant piece of kit. Uses that Binchan, whatever, charcoal. And it is a fantastic piece of kit. So, yeah, I've got those. So, yeah, it's 7 in total. And they all get used as well.
I love the fact you've done the classic man thing of, well, if you're going to fiddle with what I'm doing, I may as well add a bit of girth to it, Well,
that's right.
bit of extra length, bit of girth. If I can pick it, that's what I'm having.
You're absolutely right. I mean, we'll get through some charcoal. There's no getting away from that.
Well, on that point, you've become a brand ambassador, haven't you, for Green Olive, right?
That's down to you guys, actually. I was Dan McCarthy's the owner of Green Olive, and we're just chatting. Yes, I'm a brand ambassador for them. And hopefully I do my bit. It's Instagram presence. I don't do any YouTube stuff. I haven't got any TikTok stuff. I do a bit of Facebook, but I'm not a massive, I don't do a load of Facebook. But Dan McCarthy, he saw the original, my original podcast with you guys in 2021, and they reached out to me, and I've become an ambassador for them, and that's hopefully spreading the word. It's amazing charcoal. There's no doubt about it. It's all UK produced. It's 100% sustainable, and they do kiln dried wood as well. So best of both worlds for me. I go down the garden centre. I go down there too often, to be honest, and just fill the basket up with charcoal and firewood. So I was just thinking back when I was first barbecuing, and I used to go to Lidl and Aldi and places like that and buy 40 bags of charcoal. And it's certainly quality over quantity. So yeah, great with this. I never met the guys from Green Olive Wood yet. I think they were down at Sizzlefest. I think they were the charcoal sponsors at Sizzlefest last weekend. We couldn't make it. Well, we keep threatening to have a big party somewhere when they're down in Surrey. I'm up in East Yorkshire. But at some point, I hope we all get together, because it's, I suppose that's been part of my journey as well. And it's and again, it's part of the community, but it works really well. I use a lot of their stuff.
I do see him around a fair bit, but I actually haven't tried it yet. I've not tried their charcoal, but I have heard good things.
Give it a go. I mean, they have. I've done I've done 3 now, again, as part of as part of getting the word out. And people do know who I am now. They have a good giggle about it. But I do an annual show at our local shows. About 2,500 people turn up, and that spreads the word a bit for them as well. It gets me out of my comfort zone, and it scares the life out of my wife as well, because I've got a microphone and a loudspeaker. Whilst people don't understand the Geordie accent, I've been kept on a very short rein, because I did tell a joke a couple of years ago, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. It was a really filthy joke. It went down. It didn't go down very well. I did run it by the committee first, and it's a fantastic joke. It's actually a Billy Connolly joke. I'm not going to tell it here, despite the fact it's very, very funny, because I'm under orders. But it's good fun, that, and it's part of I suppose part of my development. I'm always one to push myself out of my comfort zone, and that kind of thing really works. So they've asked me back. I've been there 3 years in a row now, so we must be doing something there. Okay, we did a collaboration with a butcher this year, and if ever you want the rain, then you just book me to do a barbecue show, and it just absolutely sides it down. But it's great fun. Totally enjoy it, and my wife Andrea helps out. It's good fun.
And what do you normally cook? So again, I don't think that happened obviously last time that we spoke, but obviously clearly, going in and talking to and doing demos and talking to people is certainly that, part of that journey that you were discussing. But how do you choose what the right thing to try and demo to people that perhaps haven't seen or do barbecue on a regular basis?
Well, the quick answer I do is I'm told from the wife, and and Andrea will say, "This is what we're doing, Ian." And in fairness, the first year, we didn't panic. That's the wrong word, but there was an awful lot of prep, and we did some, and it was all given away. It's not stuff that we sell; it's just stuff they gave away. And we did some salmon dishes, which worked really well. I'm trying to think what else we did the first year. We did. It may have been some steak. I can't remember, but it was stuff. The most difficult thing, because the first year I did it with a guy who did cocktails. So he's on for half an hour. He does cocktails. Cocktails are instant. Barbecuing is not so instant. So you've got to do something. I can talk the hind legs off a donkey. I can talk forever, but you've got to do something that cooks reasonably quickly. Salmon's a great example. We did some skewers. Year before last, did some pineapple and pork skewers and marinated all the pork the night before. It's a proper challenge to get everything there on the day. Fortunately, there's a local butcher, in fact, she's a pig farmer. She sits on the committee, and she brings her van round and packs all my barbecues up. And it's called Anna's Happy Trotters, actually, or Anna's Happy Kitchen. They're based in Howden, where we live. And she's a proper, decent, well, very, very good pig farmer. So she always donates a bit of stuff as well. And it works really well. But this year we did it in collaboration with another butcher. So the butcher brought, it was hilarious, because he brought his van down, and there's like a great big beast coming out the back of the van. And then, as well as doing some burgers and some sausages, which went down really well, they demonstrated how to cut the various bits of beef and pork as well. And then so he was doing that, then I was cooking it. So as a collaboration, it worked really, really well. Don't know what the plans are for next year, but it's just good fun. Apart from the fact that it absolutely lashes down every time. It really does. So, it's always in July, and I think, goodness me, in July things should be sunny, but I don't think we've had a sunny one yet. But it can be difficult, because you say that, like a cocktail guy, he's there. There's your cocktails. Bosh, have a bit, and you can sample them. Whereas it's a much more difficult thing. I took my Conroe down this year, and we did some skewers on it, and they cook really, really quickly. I tried to look like James Martin with my Conroe, but it doesn't quite work that way at all. But it's just good fun.
Yeah, it's I hadn't really truly appreciated the issue of kind of cooking to pace if you're talking to people barbecuing wise at these shows. The only thing that I have seen someone do to kind of break that up if you're doing like a longer cook is when I went to Sean the Irish Eggs barbecue school. He was doing a brisket as part of the school, and
Right.
his point was the brisket I've already had to have on because of the amount of time it takes.
Yeah, of course,
However, I've done a video of the trimming, the prepping, and everything. So he put that on behind him as he was talking them through
Right.
that, but then also made like a barbecue sauce while he was talking them through that. So the brisket effectively, I mean, it was cooking during the actual class, but I suppose if it was resting, you could be talking them through the prep and stuff if you had a video behind you, cook the barbecue sauce so it's instant, and then cut and serve. But otherwise, so much of that style of barbecue being low and slow must be hard to try and discuss on a stage like that.
It's very, very difficult. And despite the fact I love me barbecuing, I don't do a great deal of low and slow. Can you say it? Low and slow stuff. We were at Sizzle Fest a couple of years ago, and Marcus Borden, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Marcus Borden did demonstrations. He's obviously the consummate professional, and that's what he does for a living. Well, they did a similar kind of thing. I think it was with a tomahawk, and the guy butchered it, and then he was cooking it as well. And it probably took about 20 minutes, but he's a consummate professional. I'm just a daft Geordie who likes to talk a bit, and but it works. I mean, we got asked to do. Word does get round, and it is just a hobby that has got out of control. As I said, we got asked to do a 50th birthday party for some guys, and we said, well, how many people are going to be? So it's probably going to be about 25. So right, okay, and he came down, he picked me weather performer up, and then he had brought me 47 centimetre kettle down as well. So there was about 35 people there, including a rock legend was there, which was hilarious. I heard that he was coming, but John Parr of St Elmo's Fire fame. You're too young to remember these songs, probably.
No, I thought that was like a Sesame Street character that got a bit out of hand with a flamethrower, you know?
No, St Elmo's Fire was a proper film, and St Elmo's Fire sounds like Running Man, but it was actually American #1. But John Parr came along with his barbecue because he was best mates with the guy's 50th it was. And his mate, and again, we did salmon and some chicken stuff, and we prepped it all. And this other guy turned up. Well, I've met a couple of times since. He's a real nice guy. And he said, no, he said, can you do, I brought my own couple of sides of salmon. I brought a couple of Côte de Boeuf as well. So can you just cook those as well, please? Like, not just right, I'll kill them. But that was the start of it, that people do, they do ask us. I mean, just a few weeks ago, there was another 50th birthday party. Someone who we know just in the local town, and Gabby said to me, "said it's Ed's 50th. Will you do a barbecue?" I said, "Yeah, go on, of course we will." And Andrea, my missus, looked at me and said, "Oh, for Christ's sake, you know, yet again, here we go." You just said, "Yeah, go on, we'll do it." And they came round the week before because they were getting a bit trepidatious because they said, "Well, you know, what have you organised here?" And they came round to our house, and I'm just, yeah, whatever you want, we'll do, kind of thing. And they said, well, how many people are coming to this party? And I said, well, about 60. So there's about 45 adults and 15 children, so you'd be cooking for 60. And at which point Andrea's looking at me saying, I can't believe you've done this again, Ian. But we did a magnificent a bit of rump beef, and we got it from the local butchers, and I think it was about 120 quid this bit of beef, and you just like chuck it on and hope for the best. Well, you don't know. I am a bit better than that, I suppose, to give myself credit. But you're popping it with a thermopen and hoping that it's all going to turn out, and it was magnificent. But I took my Weber performer down, took 2 Conroes down, my Weber Go Anywhere, and my little kettle as well, all set out. I actually looked quite professional, you know, no idea. And it was the first time we'd done something like this forever, really. And it turned out okay. It's all about the prep. And, you know, Andrea Andrew worked hard on the prep. I mean, I did the cooking and Andrew helped as well. But it was, I'm not like fazed by that now. If you'd asked me that when I first came on and did this podcast with you guys, I would have run a mile. But I like I do like to push myself. And that certainly pushed to that one. 60 people, go. That's not a problem.
I mean, it sounds like you're accidentally just falling into being a caterer part-time now. That's going to be your part-time retirement job.
We'll laugh about it. And I used to be an insurance broker in my former life. And I was saying, Andrew, my missus, seeks an insurance underwriter. At some point, we must get some public liability insurance. If we manage to poison 50 people, it could be a rather expensive way to go bankrupt. But we're trying. I mean, we've been asked to do another one. There's a couple who we know who I met on Instagram, funnily enough, and they live in the local village. They're van lifers, and they're gone off to Morocco. And he messaged me last night on Insta and said, I'm having a bit of a going away party because we're going off to Morocco for the next few months. How do you fancy doing a bit of collab? He's a musician. He said, I'll do the music and you can do the food. I'm like, yeah, that's fine, Billy, not a problem. And again, I just looked at myself, God, Ian, just behave yourself, will you? But as you can see, I thoroughly enjoy it, and it's just good fun. It is, yeah.
So with the sort of, I'm going to say catering jobs that you've done, what you were just describing with the parties and that. Are you planning the menu, or who you're doing it for? Are they telling you what they want, or is it a collaboration?
We asked them. There's one that we did. We said, what would you like? And then within reason, that obviously it's got to be cooked in certain times, etc. But they left it to us as well, and we did some prawn skewers, which went really well. Again, they're quick and easy to cook. The big rump of beef. I spoke to the butcher, said, what would you recommend? And we spoke to the guys who had the party, said that sounds good, and it's a nice party piece as well when it comes out and it rests and it's carved. So yeah, we do put some thought into it. It doesn't. The one thing I have learned is that it doesn't happen overnight. But we did a massive rib of beef for some friends last year, and just one of the neighbours actually, eight or 10 of us, I can't remember, and I wheeled me performer around to their house because they've got a bigger house than we've got, and I bought again it was a massive rib of beef, this one, and we stuck it on the barbecue. I used briquettes rather than lump wood, because briquettes do burn longer. And I was thinking, I can't believe that you're just chucking this on the Weberry, and you've got to have some faith. And it worked really, really well, because it was, stuck it on, seared it off, and then just cooked it in direct, and it looked after itself to a degree. And as long as one of the things I got for Christmas, and in fact it was for my birthday, and I'd forgotten about it, to be honest. So my birthday's in January. I got my Christmas presents, which are generally all barbecue related, and my birthday's in January. I said, and Andrew said, there's another present I got you. And we were actually on holiday we were in Bangkok. We always go to Bangkok. I know a good joke about Bangkok. I'm not going to tell it, because I know you edited it out last time. And we got back, and it was a thermopen. So they're £100, but again, that's a fantastic piece of kit. And we did some. What did I do last night? It wasn't the barbecue fail. We did it wasn't called to birth. It was like a big sirloin, like a porterhouse thing. And I knew I was chatting to neighbours, had a couple of beers, and I'm thinking, put the thermopen in. This is just going to be a bit over. And sure enough, it was. It was still very nice, I have to say. And that was because I was also getting used to the new Kamado. It's crackers out. It does get out of hand because I've got a new stainless steel cooking roasting thing, and And it was all like, yeah, let's have a go at it. Like, I'm reasonably proficient. That's what I'm above average, without blowing me no trumpet. But I knew when I carved it, it was going to be a bit over. And sure enough, it did deliver, and it was a bit over. But I should have realised when the temperature was saying something like 74. So I'll get it off the end, but I was too busy yakking to the neighbour next door, who's also into the barbecue.
If you've been looking or thinking about an outdoor kitchen, then look no further than AOS Outdoor Kitchens.
They are the South's leading outdoor kitchen design and installation specialists.
Their extensive showroom is based just outside Bournemouth on the Dorset-Hampshire border, and as well as numerous in-store displays, also features a live outdoor kitchen where they cook every week on Kamado grills, pizza ovens, and all filmed and shown on YouTube.
They offer a wealth of knowledge on how to transform your patio into the most incredible outdoor dining area, with styles and options to suit every budget, and you can guarantee they will be able to create something perfectly suited to you and your home.
They stock and supply everything that you're going to need for outdoor cooking, including barbecues, Kamado ovens, pizza ovens, outdoor fridges, and every accessory that you would need to become the ultimate outdoor chef.
So if you want to make yourself the envy of your friends and neighbours, get in touch with them today to arrange a consultation and take the first step in transforming your back garden into the most incredible entertainment space.
Visit aoskitchens.co.uk.
I like the idea that when you're doing kind of the catering jobs, as Owen called it, for other people, almost like a Monty Python sketch, you'd be like, okay, this is collaborative. What would you like? What do you want? And they said, right, so we'd like a turkey, we'd like a chicken. Actually, could you do like a crown of lamb on the side, chicken thighs, and maybe some sausages to come out? And you go, yeah. I'm going to do you ribber beef. And then we're going to cut up on the side, bit of a tomahawk, off you go.
When we did these two cooked to birth, and the guy, I mean, he is a smashing guy, and I've seen a bit of him, afterwards. And he just said, your food's quite good, Ian, but, this is what we want to do. And he got these two cooked to birth and Waitrose and two sides of salmon. Can you just do those, Ian, as well? Yeah, go on, just stick them on. It's not an issue. Unfortunately, they came out okay, because if we'd managed to poison John Paul, then we would have been in serious bother.
So what about the... Go on, Dan.
I say, just looking kind of outside the box. So you talk about traveling a lot, and you've mentioned multiple times we're going to Bangkok, or as I like to call it, slap tip, quite a few times. But you get different flavour profiles whenever you go on holiday. How has your travelling inspired the cooks you do?
It's hilarious, actually, and again, it annoys the life out of Andrea, because I do look for various places. So we were in Koh Samui, Koh Samui, Thailand. I think it was last year. We have been a few times, and we're walking down this road, and there was this place called the Shack, and it was just barbecue heaven. So I always like the tracks. Can I just come behind? And I've got a bit of an Instagram following, and can I just come behind and have a little go? And they said, yeah, that's fine again. So I should have put it on tonight. So I've got my Shack. I've got me Ian the Barbecue King fleece on tonight. Bloody boiling in here. But, so the Shack was brilliant, and they're really, they're really very accommodating. It was good fun. So I do look out for that, and we go to a place again in Bangkok, which is funny enough called Charcoal, which is going to draw me in, and it's an Indian restaurant, and it's all done on tandoors and charcoal grills. And I just once or twice to go back behind there, and we said you're not going there. So we went to Abu Dhabi last year. Sounds like I'm like Alan Wicker, doesn't it? All of you guys are way too young to remember Alan Wicker and Judith Charles and people like that. But we went to Abu Dhabi and stayed in a magnificent hotel. And one of the restaurants in the hotel was an Italian restaurant with a massive pizza oven. And that's just heaven for me. So I asked the chef, said, can I just come behind and take some pictures from the Instagram site and see how it all works? Yeah, of course you can. Anyway, I came around about 5 minutes later. The health and safety police were there. There was I won't name the hotel because we're going back there in 3 weeks' time. But this woman was saying, she gave the guy a right rollicking. Said, this man shouldn't be behind here, health and safety and all the rest of it. And he was going to tell you, so that's it. You cannot do anything ever again like this, Ian. So we went back to the restaurant. In fact, the guy who was sitting by the pool and the manager of the hotel came and said, "Is everything okay, Mr. Jakes?" I said, "Yeah, it's fine. We're having a brilliant time." He said, "I understand you have a little bit of an issue with the Italian restaurant." I said, "Oh, done, yeah, but everything was fine." "No, I understand that you tried to go behind, and the health and safety woman who was there, she was one of the senior managers in the place, and she kicked up a bit of a stink, which she did." I said, "Well, yeah, that's actually what happened." He said, "Well, I'll tell you what, you see, when you come back tonight, we're going to get all the staff together, and you're going to go behind into the kitchen, and you're going to get the pizza oven going." I've got a brilliant photograph of about 16 staff, me with my chef's hat on and everything. So whilst I'm a very quiet, unassuming kind of chap, on my travels I do like to do stuff like that. I mean, one of the this place in Koh Samui, we never did jacket potatoes on the barbecue, but they wrapped them up in tin foil, and they did some asparagus as well, a nice fillet of beef, and it's just like our go-to Saturday night kind of food now, and it's dead easy to cook. So most of that, don't never overdo the fillet on that. So yeah, we do look, and even in the UK as well. We were in Cornwall. Was it last year or the year before? Can't remember. We were in Cornwall. I bought a live lobster. The place where we stayed, unsurprisingly, had a big weather kettle, and I bought this live lobster. And I can't believe you bought that. But I put it in the freezer. So the woman said, "You put it in the freezer, I'll just go to sleep, and then you get the knife and wash it," which is what I did. And I prepped all this lobster, and we had some champagne with it. And I dropped this bloody lobster on the way from the barbecue to the table. So it's just dessert, I think, from my point of view. But so yeah, I'm very mindful and conscious of new ideas and everything. Which, if you want to talk about my barbecue fail, I will. That leads quite nicely into it. If you want me to tell you about it now?
Yeah, let's go into barbecue fails for sure.
And you can see I'm a big lad and I like my food. And we went to a restaurant in York a few weeks ago, and it was a Michelin star restaurant. It's actually owned by Tommy Banks, who you may or may not have heard of. He's on Great British Menu. He's got a fantastic hotel. And we went to this restaurant, and the food was really good. But we did a signature tasting menu, and they had as a supplement, they had a scallop. So would you like to have scallop as well as a supplement? It was 30 quid for one scallop. 30 quid. Yeah, everyone will have that with it. Because that was 6 of us there. Got 3 who shared them. And it came out. And it was nice. But it was nice. Let's make no bones about it. So surely I can do as good as that. I know I'm not Tommy Banks. And certainly don't look anything like Tommy Banks. But I do a bit of voluntary work. Unsurprisingly, to do some voluntary cooking work on a Friday morning, doing bacon and sausages and stuff like that. There's a fish lady outside, and I bought 6 scallops from the fish lady. Like, here we go, we're going to have a good go at this. And they were like £1.50 each. Anyway, I did them in a garlic and chili butter sauce, and I made all this chili butter sauce. And anyway, put them in the barbecue. I put some lovely pans, name checking from Netherton Foundry. I don't know whether you come across them, but again, they're fantastic. They make amazing pans. I've got this lovely skillet from Netherton Foundries. Put the garlic butter in, and the scallops, and the temperature was just molten. And honestly, the whole street could smell the burn. And anyway, I still served them up. And there you go, there's your scallops. They're not quite as nice as the ones that we had at Roots Restaurant in York. I can't eat them. Well, I'm going to eat them. But it was dreadful. So I've bought some more scallops which are in the freezer, and I'm going to have another go. So it was a dreadful barbecue fail, because the whole lot was I mean, honestly, that smell was pungent. It just was most unpleasant. But we're going to have another go for you, live and learn. I'm never going to be Tommy Banks or Michelin star chef, but I'll have another go and we'll get them right next time, hopefully. So there you go. We do have them, yeah. You know, that was a classic one. We, you know, the steak that was a bit over last week. That really, you know, I should know better, but I was sharing beer over the fence from my neighbour, so that just got a bit out of hand. But we're not doing so bad.
My barbecue fail for the week was more of a barbecue prank, although it was quite annoying to fix. So I cooked recently for kind of got 17 people, but every year I've got a group of 17, not 70.
17,
Jesus,
right.
17. Yeah, God, no, I don't want 70 people around my house, let alone cooking for them. But once a year, I've got a group of friends that we all meet up, and all the children and everything come over, and we have a few drinks. And one of them had like a bottle and a half of red wine, bit drunk, but also we like doing a bit of banter. So and he was chatting away, talking guff. So I took one of the grills off the side of the Kamado and got the tongs and just put them down in the heat to heat them up quite a bit. And then I was going to put them on the side of his arm, but I thought, no, that might be a bit harsh. I didn't know I was going to burn. So I put it on like the back of his t-shirt where it was hanging over and just held it there. And it burnt a hole in his t-shirt. But also...
Is he like friend now? Is he?
No, we do this sort of stuff all the time. But because it was like polyester or something, bloody stuck to the tongs, and I couldn't get the sodding stuff off the tongs.
Well, you serve you right for being foolish.
I had a lovely time, and it was particularly funny. But I wouldn't recommend trying to burn people with tongs. So that's my disclaimer. Don't do that.
No,
even if it's funny. I am mindful of some of the things I do, and I say I'm very politically incorrect, and I'm of an era where I've got to be careful what I say and what I do. So I'm on my best behaviour, which is a bit of a shame, really, because I have got a cracking joke. I might tell you it off air.
I've only actually barbecued once in the last week, so I don't have a fail, just more of a bit of disappointment. So
if anything, that's worse, right? That's got to be worse.
Yeah, just so long and short of it is, went to the butcher's, and normally I go on my own, and I always go in and bulk buy. So I'll go in and buy a shed load of meat and then just, put it in the freezer and work our way through it. But I said to the wife and kids, right, let's all go together, because quite frankly, it's frustrating when I go in and buy a load of stuff and then they go, oh, I don't want that. Oh, I don't want that. Right, you come with me. Anyway, so we've all bought a load of stuff, and they had, and I wasn't going to get them at first, but they had some Wagyu beef kebabs.
Right.
In a barbecue sauce, and they were quite reasonably priced, I thought. Anyway, cooked them up, no problems. I managed to get them medium as well, which again, mine was certainly rarer. The beef was really tasty, as you would expect from Wagyu.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
From Wagyu. But the barbecue sauce was horrible. Bloody ruined it. Like, I don't... it tasted like, like a powdered sauce that had just been whipped up, like it was powder. But I think if you're paying for Wagyu...
Yeah, you've got a point.
You've got to kind of put a nice sauce onto it. Yeah. And for me, I don't know, it just tasted funny, which kind of ruined the experience of buying some Wagyu beef, in my opinion. So again, not a fail, but just disappointed that I'd spent a bit extra on Wagyu, and the sauce that it came in was
But it's like buying good gin. Jim doesn't really agree with me, but I do like it. Buying good gin and put a crap tonic in it. So yeah. Well, I'm saying that we had a peppercorn sauce with a steak on Sunday, and it just napped over the medium bit quite well. So the pictures didn't turn out as bad as they could have been. So there was some upside to that, certainly, thankfully. Yeah.
I suppose whilst we're talking about ingredients and things that we're buying, it's probably a good time to do barbecue bingo.
Go on, fire away.
Right. So, I mean, we're nearly 90 episodes in now, so people should hopefully know what barbecue bingo is. But hopefully you can see the wheel, Ian, on the screen.
Yeah.
It's just as high tech as it was in 2024. You can see that any money that we've made from the podcast we've put into this.
That's interesting, because I was going to put the one that I was going to put on is the one that's on there.
Well, yes, don't forget to leave something. So, again, I can't remember if we had this in 2021, but there's my signature dish, i.e. your signature dish. So if it does land on that, what would be the dish that you're best known for and you would cook for us?
So, do I give it a spin, or do you give it a spin?
I give it a spin. It's just, what would you say is your signature dish? What are you known for?
My signature dish is, without a doubt, it is fillet steak, asparagus, and a jacket potato. That's probably what I'm not renowned for, but that is certainly
your go-to.
My signature. That's my go-to. Yeah, well, every Saturday night virtually.
It's a good job.
Good.
Like, we're always worried that perhaps one of the ingredients already on the wheel might be someone's signature dish. So you're sure it's not rabbit or frog's legs, tripe, none of that? What about chocolate spread? Is that what you're known for?
Yeah. Well, I've had frog's legs, to be honest. And they're not quite nice, and they taste like chicken. But then you garlic on them, and then you're all right. But, yeah, there's some dreadful things on there.
Well, let's see if you have to do one.
Yeah.
Right, let's give it a spin, see what you get.
Go on then.
So anyone who might be new, we have a wheel that we spin that people pick from, basically. Oh, look at that. That's an interesting
chocolate spread. Put that on your jacket potato.
Interesting. We do chocolate pizza in the pizza oven, and that's quite nice.
Put strawberries with it?
Yeah. A bit of chili on. Strawberries go quite well, yeah.
I was going to ask you about the pizza oven situation. So you said you're on your second. So if you're going to do like a chocolate pizza in there, what oven do you have now, and how is it different from the previous oven you'd had before?
It's bigger. That's the quick answer.
There's a pattern coming here, Ian.
It's not an uni. It's a big. It stands with a chimney on it. It stands probably, it's taller than me, with the chimney on it. The first one, we literally wore it out. But the first one, it was wood fired, and the wood went underneath, and then there was a rack, and we did the pizzas, and we all did the pizzas in tins, so in the pizza tins, and it honestly just gave up the ghost. So we probably 2 years ago we bit the bullet and bought another one. Andrew and I can't remember the make of it, because I know it needs a new thermometer. Well, you can guess when you put your hand in how hot it is, because you got no hairs left in the back of your hand. But it's just bigger. It sits in the bottom of the garden, and it's brilliant. We try and have pizza once a week as well. Andrew's a massive pepperoni fan. I love seafood pizza. Just mastered the dough making as well. So all in all, it's we're good at that. We going back to our ventures out to Bangkok. Theo Randall's a top Italian chef. Although he's Englishman, obviously, and he had a concession in one of the hotels in Bangkok called Theo Meals, I think it was called. And we went there once or twice. Unfortunately, it's gone now. And I suppose that had a proper wood-fired pizza oven. We never got behind the back there. That was probably too shy then. Maybe it's what I don't think so. The just wouldn't let me. But yeah, we enjoy pizzas. It's nice. Pizza and pepperoni, rather good combo. And it makes nice garlic bread as well. That's why I'm never going to be 14.5 stone ever again in my life, the more I think about it. But hey-ho.
Just before we forget, what ingredient would you like to add to the list?
Well, do you know what? I was going to say scallops, given my barbecue fare. That's what I say, but that's obviously on there already. How about? Oh, it'd be an interesting one. How about some liver?
Liver.
It's got to be decent liver, hasn't it? It's got to be proper. Well, do you know what? Chicken livers, you make pate with that. Not the liver that I used to get as a child because it was just cheap offal with pipes and everything, and put you off liver. But yeah, how about some liver? We'll put those liver and onions.
It's on there.
Good, excellent. It would have been scallops, given my propensity to burn the life out of them last time round. But I think that's already on there.
Sounds good. So, Ian, as we kind of come towards the end, is there anything that we haven't covered yet that you wanted to chat about?
You know what? And it's been totally enjoyable. It always is. It's a hobby that it is just a brilliant hobby. Got to know some good people. I don't know if you've come across John Wilson. He's
Love John.
John's launched a charity book recently, which is called the Barbecue Community Book, and I think I'm in it as well. And I think I've got a recipe for Yorkshire puddings. Not told him the whole. I think it's in there. I don't know. It hasn't got the final print yet. I've been pestering him, and then he just lives down the road from where we are. And I actually met him at Sizzlefest 4 years ago. And it's things like that are really good. I mean, the book's by Matt Millen. And John's done a fantastic job to pull it all together, and I think it's just about good to go. But I would never have got to meet people like John, and I have a bit of a giggle with T-Bone Marmaduke. I think was on again last Saturday night, and everyone helps each other, and that's a real good part of the community. I've got to say, well, I've got to be friends with people on Instagram. It's really hard work when the algorithm works on Instagram. I finally got 5,000 and a bit of a spurt, and then it's stalled. And again, I'd love to get 6,000 followers, but I've got to know some butchers. It's a butcher on Tyneside who I go and see now, and they sell fantastic meat. I think they also stock green olive wood. So that kind of thing works really well. And I just enjoy it. Hopefully that's come across.
Most definitely, Ian. Well, honestly, it's been a pleasure to catch up. 4 years has gone rather quickly.
It's long by, hasn't it?
But again, just give yourself a push. Tell people where they can find you and check out.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah. And it is progression because my daughter and future son-in-law, they moved house, and I bought them a moving in present, which was a Weber Performer, and they use it now, and they're on a learning curve with it, and it's just good fun. It is, and it's a pleasure to be on here again.
Well, Ian the Barbecue King, thank you so much for speaking to us again.
You're very welcome.
and we'll give you back your evening. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks, guys. Hopefully see you soon.
Cheers. Thanks, Ian.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. That's it for another episode of the Meet and Greet Barbecue Podcast. Thank you so much, Ian, for taking the time to speak to us. It's been great catching up with you and hearing about all the things you've been doing and you going back out to Slap Tip as well. Thank you so much for telling us about that. So thank you for following us on social media. You can find us just by Googling Meet and Greet Barbecue Podcast. We're on Facebook, Instagram, The Talk That Ticks, all of that sort of jazz. You can also go onto our website and drop us a message or an email. We'd love to hear from you. We want to hear what you'd like us to be talking about. Any questions, we'll get back to you, and Owen will tell you how you should be barbecuing properly, and I may ridicule you if I think it's funny. But until next time, keep on grilling.
Today's episode is brought to you by AOS Kitchens, the South's leading outdoor kitchen design and installation specialists.